The sun beat down on the turquoise waters of Antigua, glinting off the hull of the Sea Eagle, a 112-foot yacht that served as a floating throne for Sir Alan Stanford. In 2008, Stanford was the king of the Caribbean, a fifth-generation Texan with a booming laugh and a knight's title. He moved through the world with the untouchable swagger of a man who had conquered finance. He arrived at cricket matches in a black helicopter, landing on the pitch to unveil chests overflowing with $20 million in cash. To the world, he was a billionaire visionary. To his 30,000 investors, he was a safe harbor in a stormy global economy. Beneath the crystal waves of the mahogany desks that Stanford International Bank, a $7 billion abyss, was widening. The cracks first appeared in the shadow of the 2008 financial crisis. As the titan of Wall Street, Bernie Madoff, fell, a panic of chills swept through the financial world. Investors, suddenly wary of the guaranteed returns, began knocking on Stanford's door, asking for their money. They were told their funds were tucked away in conservative liquid assets. In reality, their savings had been siphoned into a sprawling web of failing businesses, Caribbean real estate, and Stanford's own pocket. In early 2009, the SEC and FBI began closing in. The suspense reached a fever pitch in February. While his empire crumbled, Stanford tried to flee. He attempted to charter a private jet to Antigua, but the company, sensing the impending doom, refused his credit card. The billionaire was suddenly a man without a country, a fugitive in his own land. On February the 17th, the SEC formally charged him with a massive ongoing fraud. The manhunt ended not on a tropical island, but in a modest driveway in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Federal agents surrounded the man who once commanded fleets of planes and yachts. The billionaire pirate was now just a prisoner. The drama didn't end with his arrest. While awaiting trial, Stanford was brutally beaten by a fellow inmate in a Houston jail. An assault so severe it left him with extensive retrograde amnesia. He claimed he couldn't even remember his own name, let alone the $7 billion disappearance. But the prosecution's star witness, former CFO James Davis, remembered everything. He testified to decades of cooking the books, describing how they had inflated property values by 5,000% to keep the illusion alive. In 2012, the gavel finally fell. Stanford, once a titan of industry, sat hollow-eyed as a judge sentenced him to 110 years in federal prison. The yachts were sold, the knighthood revoked, and the billions mostly gone. Today, he resides in a high-security cell in Florida, a permanent resident of the wreckage he created, while thousands of victims continue to pick through the debris of a dream that was always just a lie.